This is a horrible human being who does not deserve to have the freedoms that you and I have. And if something bad did happen to her by accident, I wouldn't feel sorry for her one bit.
And I'm glad you're talking about this Shiloh Hendricks situation. I am from Minnesota, and it's just disheartening.
So this is right in your backyard.
Yeah, I'm
Where did this happen?
miles away.
Can you? Okay, so you're 40. So can you tell us the neighborhood and where this happened? Can you give the listeners some background since you know the area?
Well, it was in Rochester, Minnesota, which is the home of Mayo Clinic. It's a really nice city. In some park, I don't know which park. It's pretty big news around here, of course. But when I got up the next day and I heard it, it made me sick.
I don't know what I would say in that situation, and maybe I'll ask you. But I maybe this is strong language for some people, but I would say, you despicable bitch. That's what you are.
Oh.
You despicable bitch. You are trailer trash is what you are, you despicable bitch. And you know what? I would probably call the police, and I would get her license plate number, and
file a report.
Yeah, file a report against her.
Intimidating, harassing children. It's a charge.
You despicable bitch. And by the way, I would call that for anybody else who has defended her or donated to her, I don't know, for lack of a better term, I don't know, what would you even call it? Fund? It's not GoFundMe, I understand that, but I don't even know what you would call it. To fund her.
It should be Go Support Me.
Yeah, her
support
clan
racism.
Her clan racism views. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, my dear.
No, you're absolutely right. And the police report was filed, and they turned it over to the DA office yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Which side filed? I missed that.
I would imagine the father that recorded the video.
Good.
They didn't say who turned it in. I just know it was turned over to the DA yesterday.
So Leonard,
and hopefully,
sorry, my dear, I just want to stay on the line. Leonard, what would be the charges there? You said stalking.
Stalking. You cannot. An adult cannot intimidate or harass a child under 14. It's a misdemeanor. You can't try to persuade them to do things they don't want to do. And so her aggressive behavior fits, there's provoking, assault, there's a lot of misdemeanor charges, but you cannot do that to children. I'm 100% sure of that.
Now, I'm about to say something that some people might find wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway. When Rush Limbaugh died of cancer, I had a smile on my face because he was a cancer to society. I didn't wish it upon him. But when I found out he had passed away, I smiled. I'm not wishing bad health for this woman, but if I found out tomorrow that something bad happened to her, not by violence, but by an accident, or she got cancer, or whatever, I would smile. Because I know there are some people in society that say you shouldn't wish bad things on anybody. No, that's not me. This is a horrible human being who does not deserve to have the freedoms that you and I have. And if something bad did happen to her by accident, I wouldn't feel sorry for her one bit, and I'd probably smile. Bad people like that, I do not feel empathy or feel sorrow for. Now, she said that she has raised, $740,000 now. It's somewhere around there.
And climbing.
To protect her family, which is, by the way, BS. It's nonsense, okay? It's absolute nonsense. She's just trying to make a buck off of her racism and bigotry, and sadly, it's working. I wish nothing but the worst for this woman. Nothing.
It's working really well.
Would you like me to tell you the law in Nevada? In Nevada, harassing a child is primarily addressed under NRS 200-508, child abuse, neglect, and endangerment. And under NRS 207-260, unlawful contact with a child, they protect children from harm, including physical, emotional, and psychological damage, and may lead to serious penalties like prison times and fines. And every law has a similar law. Every state.
My dear, can you explain? Have politicians in Minnesota been speaking out religiously, or have the MAGA Republicans stayed silent? Who are the people that have spoken out that represent you?
Tim Walz.
I have not heard much of anything from politicians, but most of our politicians are Democrats. We have like Tina Smith and Amy Klobuchar for senators, and but I haven't heard personally, I've not heard anything from them.
Do you find it interesting?
On
And thank you, by the way, for the call, my dear. It's great to hear from you. I find it interesting that, Fox News and OAN and Newsmax, they won't be leading with this story. Oh, no, they won't be leading with this story at all. In fact, many of them won't even be talking about it. And if they are, they're probably defending this woman. I find that very, very interesting. But if you watch Fox News, they'll make it seem like black people are the only people in society that commit crimes in this country, which is obviously not true. They'll make it sound like undocumented immigrants are the only ones that are going to murder your kids and rape your wife, which is obviously not true as well. But God forbid a white woman harasses a 5-year-old black child and calls him the N-word. They don't want to cover it because sadly many of them agree with it.